prefer like this? Do you prefer this format, or do you want me to just go ahead and press present?
Yeah, you can just go ahead and press present.
Okay, can you still see my screen? Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm just like suddenly need more time to update this laptop. And then this one is from the Google Drive. I make a 2 copy of it actually. One from in the Google Drive and then another one in my local laptop. But so this one is like there is a lot of slide from this one and it's quite messy, but let's see if I could go through it. So firstly, there is 4 modules in this chapter. We call chapter visualize data in Power BI. So the three part of it is like you can make a report, and the first one you make a basic report and then you can make an enhanced report from it. And thirdly, you can make dashboards. And then the last one is a paginated report. So firstly, let's take a look and can you go through the next slide? Okay. Okay. So firstly is how to work with the Power BI visuals. And this one is how to add the visualization and then how to choose the effective visualization. So I'm really surprised when I go through this module actually, because before this, I only use Excel and a little bit of Python. And then it's like there is a lot of visualization and it is much easier in this Power BI. Like you just get into the data and then you can just select any visual that you like. So this is a really big thing to gain the knowledge. Okay, so the next slide is, so let's start with the okay. So the step 1 is very easy. You just have to select the visualization pane. You can use the visualization, then there's a lot of visualize thing icon. It's very easy. And the most default, the default visualize is there is tables and metric from this Power BI. And then, but before that, before you choose the visualization items that you want, you can you have to choose the values, put the values that you have. And then the next slide. This is like, okay. So, oh my God. So I'm so sorry. It's like I have to, let's see if my update is, okay. Okay, so so when you get into the data, the value, and then you can choose the effective visualization. There is a lot of visualization, so I go through one by one. So this is the default one. There is table and matrix. The difference between table and matrix is the table is a grid that contains related data in a logical series of rows and columns, and it only supports 2 dimensions. But with matrix, you can select 1 or more elements. We can see the difference after this. So there is rows, columns, and values in the matrix to cross-highlight other visuals on the report page. So the next slide is, okay, so this is a table. So you can see that the matrix matrix visualization is much more details. You can add more row by columns, and then the table is much more simpler. Okay, so the next visualization is bar and column chart. So I think that we already familiar, and Kian, I think, is it Kian, the presenter before this? So he already used this one, cluster, column chart, and then stack column chart. This is the most basics that we always, for me, the one that I always see. But the next one, the third one is we have the line and area chart. So this one, you can use this one to highlight the magnitude of change over time. There is a lines and area chart here. Okay, so next is, there is a pie chart, donut chart, and tree map. So this one here is the pie chart and donut chart. So it is actually for the analyzing the data. It is not much useful, but for aesthetic reasons, because you could add more color in it, you could put a percentage, so it could be much more presentable to the audience. And the main topic here is we have to make sure that the audience get what they want. They could read what you want to show. So it's basically based on your preference and your audience preference. But to use this visualization, you have to make sure that avoid to use categories, because by adding too much categories, it could result in thin slices and it would look less nice. So for that, you could change the visualization to the back to column chart. So the next one is we have a tree maps. So these tree maps, it shows, it's very helpful to show the hierarchical data. So when a bar chart can effectively handle the large number of values. So this size is based on the maybe the characteristic of the data actually, like which one is much more important, which one have more size, number, and stuff. And then we could change the attributes, the color codings, and the patterns. Okay, so this is the tree maps. So the next one is, okay, so the next one is combo chart. Combo chart. So this combo chart is like we have the line chart. Let's check here. Okay, so the combo chart is the combination of line chart and the column chart. So here we could use to compare the multiple measure with different value. And this one also, you can put combination when you have, when a certain company want to put a target, which a target that needed for the company to achieve. So they could compare if they have achieved the target value for the month or for the year, and then compare, and then adding another bar chart to put the progress of that particular month. So so this one would illustrate the correlation between two measures in one visuals. And then it's also could conserve space on your report page, like rather than you put a difference visualized, like put a different pane, one for the line chart and then another one is for the target, the achievement. So you could put on the same board, on the same tiles, and it could make you analyze more easier. Okay, so the next one is, there is also a cut visualization. So basically this cut visualization is to highlight the important statistics. So like, for example, you are presenting the current sales report. So you may want to show what is the current report like for this month, August, or maybe you want to put between the whole year, like in 2009. So which month have the highest values? So here you could put the values of that month. Other for this one, this example, this is like they show that sales amount of this particular year, and then which one have the top three country that have the sales amount. So so this is the very important visualization that you could put in the dashboard. Okay, so the next one is we have also funnel visualizations. I'm actually like, for me, this is like very useful. This is the first time I see this this particular visualizations. So this visualization displays a linear process that has sequential connected stage. So it could show the item flow sequentially from one stage to the next stage. And then when you would use this, like for this one, there is 4 stages. So the first stages is like you have the greater number for the items that expected. And then we have the next item, which one have the lesser value compared to the previous one, and then continue. So this visualization is actually could help you to calculate and track conversation and retention rates. And this will reveal the bottlenecks in a linear process. Okay, so the next one we have Gantt chart. So Gantt charts is very it could show you the progress toward a goal or target. And then like this one, we have the minimum target, and then we have the minimum target is 1 million, and then the maximum target is 20 million. So and then the middle one, the middle number like $9 million is the progress value of the current sales targets. And then this type of visualization is actually quite nice, but the thing is it takes up a lot of small space rather than the things that we could analyze. But the important things here is to how you want to report the data. So it actually quite nice to show this one, but basically if you can arrange the how you visualize, how you show, how you present the reports, is it's okay. So the next one is waterfall visualization. So it is also called bridge chart. So it shows a running total as value are added or subtracted. So so this one is really important to show the positive and negative changes. So like there is a green value, like the color coded, so you can basically show like which one show a decrease and which one show the increase. So like there is a legend there. So the green one of course shows an increase of the particular items, and then the red one, you can see the decrease in the particular icons and the values in the bracket. So and then the charts, and then the initial and the final value columns often starts on the horizontal axis, so while the intermediate value are floating columns. So this one we could compare which one is much more which we can compare which item could benefit the company more, for example. Okay, so the next one is we have so this one, okay, so the next we can proceed as what we have the scatter chart. So basically scatter chart is I think like it's similar, it is you are familiar with the scatter charts, because this one you can show the relationship between a lot of items, and then we could see which one item have more popular, which one is more popular to be sold in a certain period of time. Is it a period of time? Yes, and then which one have the quantity orders, much more quantity orders. So and then it could also display outliers and the anomalies with a trending line going up. Okay, okay, so the next one is the map. So this one we have seen the use of maps before this. The previous like Kian have showed the use of the maps. Like we could associate the categorical and quantitative information with spatial locations. And then this type of map visual displays precise geographical location of data points on a map. So, and then we also have a field map. We could change the shading, the tinting, or the pattern to display in a certain proportion of in across a geographical regions. And then we can also use a shape maps. So use color to display relative comparisons. And then there's another option. Actually, we could use ARCGIS map to display a geographical information in a more interactive ways. So the next one is slicer visualizations. So this one is slicer visualization leads us to, we could filter which display we would want to choose. Like if you want to see only the country of certain part, like France, Germany, United States. So it is very useful for it is accessible for audience for the report presentations. Okay, so this one is visualize commonly used or important fields. Okay, so the next one, I'll continue. Okay, so the last one is the Q&A visualization. So this one is when you want to allow the audience to ask the questions. So the audience could comment and ask a question to the author. And then there is 4 components. There is a question box, and then there are pre-populated lists of suggested questions. And then there is an icon that users can select to convert the Q&A visual into a standard visual. And then there is also an icon that user can select to open Q&A tooling, which allows a designer to configure the underlying natural language engine. So like when you entering the queries with Power BI Q&A, so you could see the questions. So right here we could see how the questions, you could put that like here net sales by country, so it automatically shows the country, the net sales based on the country. Okay, so next one. Okay, so you can format, so step 3 is you can format and configure visualizations. So easily just select the visualization on the canvas and then select format button to display format page. And then here there's a lot of things you can, I think like it's very easy to you just select and choose what is the configuration that you needed based on your preference and your audience needs. Okay, the next one is the titles. And then this is some example that how you could change the titles. Just click on the paint with site titles and just change the titles. And then make sure that you choose the titles that make sure you choose the titles that are very accessible to your audience, like very like very readable to your audience. The next one is there is some things that you want to change the background, but it is advisable to use the white background. But basically, if you think that your visualization is much more nice with different color, and then with some image, you could choose to use that. But throughout the module, I always see that it is preferable to use a white background in your report. Okay, so the next one is there's tooltips. So what is the use of tooltips? It's actually if you say on some websites, so I don't know how to cite example, but like if you hover your mouse on the certain visual, so you could the audience could see a more contextual information that they want. So here you just have to drag a field from the fields panels into the tools tips bucket, and then you just add what kind of visual what kind of informations you want to put there. So the next one is and then the next interesting way is other than putting information, you could also put another visual inside the tooltips. But this one, it took a lot more effort, since you have to there is a lot of steps compared to the previous one, which is you have to create a new page, and then the next one is, okay, so you expand the page size section, and then you select tooltips from the type list, and then the next one is, and then you could put your setting your visuals appears in the tooltips, set the page view option to actual size, and then next one, I think, okay, so this one, so you could put which type of visual you want. Like maybe you want to add inside the visual, you could put another visual when the audience hover throughout the report. So add one or more visuals to the tooltips page in the same way what you would on any other report page. And then you could specify the fields, and then you select the visualizations, the values tab in the visualization panes, and then you can drag the fields from the field panes into the tooltip bucket. So next one is, okay, so I didn't put, okay, so if you hover throughout the, can we go to the previous slide? Previous more. Okay, so this one, so I want to show that this one, like if you can see that right now there is only information that could be seen from the tooltips, but when you want to add another visualization, you may see maybe you could add what is the trend between throughout the year for the USA only, or maybe you want to add more like when you hover to the Germany, the bar for the Germany, so you could put another visual between in these tooltips. So there is two types of tooltips that you could put, either informations or you want to put a visual, another visual in it. So the next one is, we could see, so that is the interesting thing in the tooltips. So, and then another type is, if you want to if you are maybe you see that there is another kind of thing that you want, but you can't find an interesting visualization, so you could put you could import custom visualizations by clicking on the get more visualize. So you just have to add it. So, and then when you do that, so when you do that, so it automatically adding on the lower part of the visualization page. But the thing is, there is some visualization that are certified and not certified, but it didn't really important, but it just the certification process is optional. Like the uncertified visual is not necessarily unsafe to use, but it just for the certified status means that the visual meets the Microsoft Power BI theme code requirement. Like either it could the visualize is tested to verify that it doesn't access external service or the resources, and then it follows secure coding patterns and guidelines. That's all. So you don't have to worry if you add the uncertified one. Okay, so the next one is if you are familiar with the R coding and the Python coding, so maybe you are more interested in the R visualizations and the Python visualizations. So you could just click the icon button. And then the next one is, okay, so if you could see here, when you use the R visualization, you have to put, you have to add value, select the remove fields first, supporting code in the R script editor to automatically generate a remove. Then automatically, when the R script will show you the R script, the R coding, and then the R coding to retrieve the data, and then you just have to visualize the data based on your understanding on the R coding. It is readily for you. So like if you could see the previous slide, you could change the R script editor from the lower part, and then you just run it, and it will show automatically by based on the coding that you write on the R coding. Okay, the next one is the Python coding. So if you are familiar with the Python coding, basically it is the similar steps from the R coding, but maybe you want to, maybe you are familiar, maybe you are more interested with the Python codings. So it is basically the same thing. But okay, so this one I didn't put in the Python the step, which is the thing is the difference between the use of R coding and the Python coding, the R visuals and Python visuals, is the R visuals you need some setting in the setting Power BI, but the Python, if you use the Python, there's no problems, but there is an extra step that you need. Is it like, if I can remember, I didn't put here, but there is like you have to install the R Python, the R Studio first in your laptop or in your PC. But for Python, it is okay to without installing the Python. But for the R, you have to install the R Studio first before you use the R functions visualization here. Okay, so the next one is, so you can put also the key performance indicators here, and then set what is the specific goal over time for the current time for the specific organizations. So, but you need a 3 piece of information which is the unit of measurement that you want to track, like the total sales, and then the numbers of employees hires, number of loan service, or number of students enrolled. And then there is also the goal for the measurements, so that you can compare your progress with the goals. And then there is time series, for instance, daily, monthly, or yearly. So if you could see here, the step is very easy. So you just set which one you want, the indicator, trend axis, and the target source, and that it automatically would come out like this 6.67 millions. So there's the Power BI would automatically come out with this visualizations. So the next one is, okay, so how to create a better story with your Power BI reports is, next slide. Okay, so make sure like for the whole part of this module, what can I say is, since you want to present, you want to report the data, you want to report your analysis, you have to always make sure that you consider your audience. You have to choose the correct format, you have to choose the correct style and the color scheme and the color fonts. Like, and then when you have to choose the background and you want to choose what kind of things you want to show, make sure that all the things are accessible to your audience. According to you have to consider your audience need. You have to consider like maybe your audience, what kind of information that they need, and then what kind of analysis or decision that they want to make. So like, and either that the audience maybe have some hearing or motor, cognitive or visual impairments. Like maybe that we could have certain would have certain preference, like maybe we would like some certain color that we would like certain font that we would like, but you have to make sure, you have to keep reminding yourselves that this is for you to show to the audience. The most important thing is how would the audience see the report. So this is the most important key in this visualizations parts of the report. Then when you put a certain things, certain elements in this report, make sure that you also consider what is the purpose of the visualization. If you put a certain chart, is it really important? And then if you want to put a certain goals or like the card, the visualization card, like is it important to put the most maximum sales for that year, or like maybe it doesn't necessarily you need to show that kind of things. So you have to make sure that all the thing is really important. So, and then the next one is make a reminder that more visuals in the report, the more impact that the performance of your reports. Like if it's so messy, your audience may not be like it, and they will lose focus for the report. And that so make sure that maybe the laser for the visualize in the report, the visualization in the report, the laser of the chart, so that they could focus more on what kind of things that you want to show, what kind of things that you want to analyze. And that kind of thing also could help them to analyze the situation better and then make decision much more faster. Okay, so the next one is...
Sorry to interrupt, Anis.
Yeah.
I think we're coming up to 11:30.
Okay.
I noticed you have quite a lot of slides remaining. So how do you want to, do you want to go quickly, or do you want to jump to?
Oh, maybe we could go quickly.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the next one is, so this is the key guidelines. So first you can draw the sketch. So this is the draw sketch of your report layout, and then this is to give you rough idea, and then you could focus on the most important thing, and then you could select the right. Okay, I think like maybe go to the next one. I go to the things that you could do. The next one. Okay, so the thing is, before this, I think like Kian has already mentioned that you could add the buttons, bookmarks, and selections. So this one is very technical. I for me, I really like to show it on my laptop actually, but maybe we could see like really fast on how you could do that in this slide. Okay, so the next one is, the next slide is, okay, so this is, so basically you could hover into the things, next one, erase report page, no, next, this page settings, accessibility, yes, this one, alternative text, this one is obviously on the formatting things for your audience. And the next, no, I think I want to show the buttons. Okay, the markers, themes. Okay. So like the previous slide is basically on the how you, is like if you are familiar with the PowerPoint things. So this is like very basic things. The next one is buttons. So for the button, it's like you could put how you want to hover, how you would want to make an actions. So the next one, next bookmarks, next. The next, I think I want to show the buttons. Is it okay? So the button one is very interesting because when you put the buttons, you could you could yes, this one, you could make the report could the audience could just click the button and they could see a lot of things. You could put a lot more of things and it much more organized. So the next one is from here is actually this, the Power BI is becoming much more interesting compared to, I don't know, I'm not familiar with other type of visualization, but this one is really what excites me actually. So so this is some function that you put. I think I cannot go into details, but this is what. Okay. So maybe we could. So the next one. Next. Okay. So okay. So the previous one. This is the previous slide. Okay. So this is some of the action button that you could put. In the buttons, like you can go back, you can bookmark, you drill through, page navigation. This one is how you could put on the report, and this one is much more like we could adhere to the accessibility of the audience. I think maybe we could stop here, like it's 11:30. There is much more. I'm sorry. Like there's
I think that was a really good presentation, Annie. Thank you so much. It's very detailed and very thorough. I think a lot of us can agree with that.
Yeah. And thanks for preparing all this, Anis. It's quite unfortunate that your laptop, gave up on you. I think it tends to happen, right? Need to pray to the demo gods before, but it's not your fault. I think it'll be very useful if you can share the slides to us. It's going to be very good for revising for the exam. Yeah.
Okay, but I really would like if I share this one later on, like it's very interesting because I'm very new to this Power BI, and a very interesting, like there's a lot of things you could do in this Power BI, like the paginated reports. This paginated reports one, you could print out the receipts, and maybe like you want to show the purchase order and then the invoice, and then it automatically change based on your chosen items. And then there is also this one I actually want to show how to make it in this based on the lab, but unfortunately maybe I could share some video of it, like I could try it.
Yeah. Thank you, Anis. Thank you.
Yes, yeah. So I'm sorry for any inconvenience, actually, like if there is any lacking from me. So I share this one later on.
That'd be great. Yeah, thanks.
So anything definitely would like to add on, actually, if I'm missing something. Of course, there's a.
No, go ahead.
No. I mean, like maybe actually, I could not go through all of it. So there's a lot of things. I could not go through.
Yeah, I think the rest of us need to take it bite-sized. Not everyone, but maybe for me, it's it's a lot to have done so far. Well done.
Okay, I'll hand it over back to you, Mabel.
Thank you. Right, I think we're pretty much time's up, and we still have the huge majority of you here. So I want to really thank each and every one of your time. I think it's a very valuable weekend time, so it means a lot for everyone to be here. And newcomers, Ianatu, I think that's you're the newcomer, or I don't know if Ija is a newcomer. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed our session.
I do. Okay, thank you so much for the session.
Yeah, just
very
just
nice.
Follow up. Yeah, no. Thank you for coming. So I think Brianna posted a few links at the chat box if you've not gone through that already. So the Cloud Skills Challenge, just get your friends on. The more the merrier. Everyone's welcome. And we have the study group Telegram if you're not already on it. It's a very interactive group. Everyone talks and helps each other on the weekly homework. Is there a homework for next week?
No, it's pretty much self-study from now on. I mean, we
okay.
can assign you homework,
questions?
but it's pretty much self-study. And any questions you have,
are we following? So previous weeks I realized there was like chapters to accomplish before.
You just move on to the next learning path in the Cloud Skills Challenge. Yeah.
So number 5, right?
Brianna's going to dig it out. Awesome. Okay, so I guess just a reminder. Yeah, thank you so much for helping to facilitate today, Mabel, and really awesome job, Anis. I mean, I did go through the module, but listening from your perspective and how you're so excited about the features you couldn't wait to use, it was really nice to see that, and it's also making me like excited to also do more with Power BI. Yeah. So I'm just gonna stop the recording here, and if everyone's comfortable, we would like to take a group photo.
Yeah.